Yo, my God, can you hear me?
I can't hear you, brother.
Hold on. Alexa, disconnect
I
Bluetooth.
can hear you now, but
Nah, can you hear me,
I
my
can hear
guy?
you. How are you?
Yo, man, it's been a while.
It
It's
has,
been a
man.
while, my guy.
It's good to be connected.
It's been a while, man. Yes, my guy. How's life, man? What are you saying?
Um, Life has its ups and downs. I'm still on house arrest, but I'm hanging in there, taking it one day at a time. A bunch of my charges got dropped, so I'm trying to get off of house arrest, which is funny. Maybe we'll talk.
Great.
We'll talk a lot about that later. But yeah, I've been up and down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. I know what you mean, man. That's life. That's life.
Yeah.
You have ups and downs, man. And I can't lie. I remember the first time we started talking on your live stream with your guy Fuego, with your guy
Yes.
Fuego.
Yeah.
I
I go.
remember
I go.
bro, that shit was lit. I hopped in the live because I saw you guys, you guys seem pretty cool. And we
Yeah.
just started talking, and we talked a lot about what you guys do. And for anyone who doesn't know this guy, my mind's a triple threat, man. This guy on the live stream, I'm not even capping. I'm not even capping. Like this guy's
He's
actually
breaching
making
me. He's
music,
breaching.
and now this guy's now an artist. So we're gonna get into it today, man. But first of all, man, um, obviously you used to do music now. So and now you've gone into art. I'd like to know, first question,
Yeah.
are you still doing music? And what is the change? What made you want to start actually doing drawing and actually expand your creative outlet? Why did you do that?
Okay, that's a very good question, actually. Well, one thing is I've always been into like sketching and doing my art is abstract. It's called This Isn't That. But before it just got its label and like I just started like taking it serious as far as like business goes. But before that, I was always into like, being creative and like sketching shit and making like cool designs. One time I made a design and then I got the design tattooed. I don't
Hmm.
know if we can see it too well on the
I
camera. Let
can
me
see
turn
that. I can see that. I can see
turn
that.
my brightness a little way up. But yeah, so yeah, and then I was like, yo, I think I want to get. I had an idea that I would get all of my tattoos just be designs that I do because I fuck with my abstract design. So I got more of my designs tattooed, and then I just started. I always had a sketchbook. That's not nothing that it wasn't like I did music and then transferred into sketching. I was always a overall artist and I was always sketching. I just started like selling my art and I had no idea it would sell so well. And maybe it's because of the circumstances, but it's selling pretty fucking well for just some sketches and PDFs and tattoos designs. So yeah, nothing made me want to switch. I just something made me want to take it serious or want to start selling it, which is because I'm trying to get another lawyer to get me off of house arrest. And I'm trying to raise money for that. So some people have put up some of the money, and I've been trying to sell my art to put up the rest. So I've been reaching out to some people. My fans been reaching out to me, and people have just been buying shit. It's making me happy because I have a court date coming up, and hopefully it's March 11th. Hopefully March 11th, I'm off of house arrest, and you'll see me doing shows again and recording in better studios and the shit that I'd love to do.
Amazing, man. So we'll talk about all of that stuff in a bit. But
Yeah,
obviously,
yeah.
with music, man. So was it a thing where you obviously said you carried a sketchbook around? So does that mean you doing art more before making music?
When I was young, funny thing, when I was younger, I told my mom, I was like, Mom, I want to be a rapper. She was like, this is like 12 or some shit like that. She was like, she laughed at me. She was like, huh, you, you think you could be a poet? And I was like, damn. So that's what I did. I did poetry. And I ran into a poetry club called PYPM, and that's where I met a bunch of my music friends. And from there at like 14 15 I've always was freestyling and writing poetry that was really like just me like rapping, but like my poems weren't poems, they were just like 16 bars of shit I had to say, and it turned into me actually getting into the studio and shit like that. And that's kind of how it kicked off into, me starting to make music.
That's amazing, man. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you're basically sort of you know you had many creative outlets, and obviously how did because I know with creatives, man, it's one thing being creative yourself, it's one thing, making music, drawing yourself, but obviously you said you're with other people. How did that affect you? How did that affect the way you created stuff? Because I know, like, you have a lot of artists now who are making groups. Like, I know some artists that have groups. You obviously had Odd Future. You have Dreamville, when J. Cole did that massive project. So when you're with other artists, man, how did that affect you? Was that a positive thing, or was it a thing where, nah, man, I'd rather make music on my own?
Yeah, it was definitely a positive thing. We had a group out of that little poetry organization I was telling you about. We had a group called Das Kader, which I think in German, I was young, I don't know what the fuck we were talking about, but I think it means a gang in German. But it was just like a friend group of guys that was rapping, but it was competitive and it was like it uplifted me to want to be better, and I became better. Like I was just a poet that would write, and eventually hanging around those people, I turned into like a freaky ass, 16 specialist. And that turned into me learning that I can actually write and put together good songs. The person that got me what I call like my little break in the city was somebody that I met in that group. I had wanted to put a song out for the longest, just off of like, being a curious kid. I put a song out and it did okay until like he like shared it to some special people, and he was like this is a mutual friend of mine. He was like, yo, this is fucking like some serious shit. It's called Elephant Juice, the first song I put out. So
Yes.
from being around him, he
Was
took
that
me
JPEG? Was
his
that
name.
JPEG? Was that JPEG? Was that JPEG the one who got you in touch with these people? Because I remember last time you said
No, no,
JPEG.
no, no, no. This is my friend Ben Alpha. This is my friend Ben Alpha, a close friend of mine now, but at the time he was a mutual friend. But anyway, he pulled me and basically was like, "Yo," he was doing shows and he was like on the scene. He was like, "Yo, nigga, I need you doing if you can, I need you to do this like all the time, and you can run with me." And he like gave me my first show and put me out there. So the way I respond to being like around and surrounded with other artists is like 100% a positive. You know what I'm saying? It, it I'm the type of person who's very social, so I feed off of like energy and ideas, and know how to not like just like chrome only make them my own, but add energy to them, and it shows in the music that I have, like "Do or Die," the song that I have on SoundCloud, which would soon be on Apple Music. Uh, it's me and the guy Soup or Gaspancho, whatever he goes by. We're going back to back and we're feeding off of each other's energy, but it feels like one energy. I play the song all the time. People can't tell me from him because it sounds like a feeling, because I felt it, he felt it. We performed it one time at a bar called Kung Fu Necktie, and it live, the song is so much more better because it's like, damn, you can see that this is one big vibe that they are both on at the same time. It's like I have a very good way of picking up someone's vibe and adding to the wave. You know what I'm saying? But I also have my own wave and know myself to do so, which you need to be able to do so. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, that's sick. That's sick. And that's one thing I actually picked up, on that live, because a lot of the times me, I just jump in on anyone's live. Like, I didn't realize, bruv, but nobody jumps in on anyone's live. Like, I always think, people just jump in their lives. And I was with a guy, I think you know him, Juaso. Um,
Yeah, I just Lee just bought some art. His name's Lee. He just bought some art off me. Shout out to that guy. Yeah. He put me on to some martial arts, to a martial arts style that I've been training. I just got finished training. That's why you hit me like, yo, we still doing the interview. I was like, oh shit. I had to put my weight down and put a sweatshirt on. I was sweaty as shit. But yeah, I do know that guy very, very well.
I know you know Lee, but yeah, man, like Lee told me, fam, like nobody jumps on lives. Like you're the only person who jumps on lives, and I was like, wow. my guy, like I didn't realize, but I jumped on that live with you and Fuego, and we were just talking. And I remember we talked about Top Boy and stuff, and just like, and the vibe was sick, man. Like I thought, it would be
Yeah, I remember that day. I
yeah,
wouldn't leave my memory. It was a good moment.
exactly. And I was writing all of the songs on my board and shit, Elephant Juice, all of your SoundCloud songs,
I
Fuego.
remember that blew my mind. I was like, yo, this kid's serious about his journalism. Like he's not playing. He's no
No,
this is
man,
no plaything. Like he's
it's,
seriously
it's
got a whole whiteboard and getting it done.
it's not a joke, man. It's not a joke to me, With Seventh
Uh,
Tier, I want to interview as many creators as I can. That's why when you jumped on, when you said, "Yo, can we do an interview?" I was like, "Yes, I know more, man. Let's do it." But
for
you know,
sure.
like that's sick, man. That's sick that you feed off of people's energy because a lot of the time, man, like I was doing some research in personality types, and a lot of the time, man, some people, you know, don't realize that being a creative, you really need other people, man. No one really gets to the top on their own. People always need help from someone else, man. Like that guy who helped you. Like it doesn't matter how big you are. There's always somebody. There's always a group of people who's helped you get there, man. And obviously, with that guy helping you out and getting you to perform, how did that make you feel? Because I'm sure, like he was obviously, like you said, he was doing well. How did that make you feel? That he go on.
That's a close friend of mine, so I don't want to pipe his head up too much. But I'm gonna be honest because it's a 7th tier interview. That's where a different facet of my life had opened up. Like I turned into like a little at the moment of 2016. I've been quiet now because I've been on house arrest for about 3 years. But in 2016, I kind of was like a little celebrity. Like Elephant Juice
Yeah,
was. I was walking around the city and people were like, "Yo, that's the guy. That's the guy. That's the guy." Yo, da da da. People was like following me around and shit. So at the time from just being a kid who was like always getting his ass from his mom to like then started doing poetry, hanging out with friends, being able to go outside to like being somebody because my music that I make is pretty cool, and I got friends that'll put me in studios, tell me record. It turned me into like it boosted my ego and it made shit a lot different for me as far as like hanging out around the city. Like I was somebody and I felt like somebody. People wanted to take pictures of me. I'm talking about photographers. I got so many photos that may or may not be up of like really good professional photos just because I'd like going downtown to the park to hang out. But at that time, people was like, yo, that's the guy who dropped Elephant Juice, who did the show last night at Kung Fu or da da da. And I didn't even know how to take that. I just I feel like I could have handled that better when I look at it as an older man. Like I was just a young dumb teenager, but yeah, that should changed a lot for me. Like for, after, I mean, more plus if I was or not.
yeah, man, that's sick, man. That's sick. That's amazing. And bruv, do you know what the funny thing is? I'm sure, man, with the art that you do, with the music that you do, with the personality, that's just a glimpse of the future, my guy. That's just a glimpse of the future. If you keep on putting in the work and you keep on doing what you're doing now, man, you will get to that point
Like
where fam, it'll be international, my guy.
yeah, no, I definitely feel that. I just got a couple of like you know, life bumps in the road I'm dealing with right now. I'm serious on this music shit. I mean, I'm serious now, but like, you know what I mean? Like, as far as like going out, doing every show that I can, getting myself out there properly and professionally, I'm on it. I'm definitely not gonna be no that guy could have been somebody. You know what I'm saying? That's not the legacy we're going for. I'm definitely gonna take everything I got somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, man. So with that being said, then looking back on it, so your mum said, okay, cool, you could do poetry. You get involved with this group, this guy, pretty good. Some shows with me now, and obviously have a bit of heat on the streets. Um, what was the turning point from you doing music to sort of this circumstance where it got a bit tough? Because obviously you said about being on house arrest and stuff. You don't need to go too deep into it, but what sort of happened at that point? What sort of happened where shit started going left?
Shit didn't really start going left until I got on house arrest. I had walked in the store basically, and I got assaulted by a guy, and I know a bit. I study a bit of martial arts, so I basically put him in like a hold and was holding him down. But he's an older gentleman. So he basically went to court. I mean, he went to this was a month later, which is why this case is bullshit. But because of COVID, I've been on preliminary house arrest until my case gets proven innocent or guilty for so long, which is like mind blowing. How can you be on preliminary house arrest, pre-trial house arrest? You haven't even gotten to trial for 3 years. Like that's crazy. That's unheard of to me. But that's how they do us in the legal system that I've come to find out. That's it, and shit didn't go downhill. Like it didn't like fuck shit up. It just made it harder for me, like stressful. Like I'm in my room 24/7. I do sketches because they make it easier for me to get back into my writing. I like to view myself as somebody that is somebody. Like when I was 16, I was walking around and people were pointing at me and like trying to get pictures with me and shit like that. Like that made me feel like somebody I wanted to write about, which made the next 16 that I went in my notepad and write about even much cooler because I felt like a cool motherfucker because I was living that. Being in these four walls, I feel like a fucking douchebag, and I don't want to write about a douchebag. I mean, I have songs that I do, talk about like how much of a piece of shit that I am that turned out pretty cool, but like I don't want to do that all day because that's not who I am. I'm like a loving, social, open, energetic guy. And I don't get to be that, even though I'm trying. I work out in this small ass room every day. Uh, but yeah, it ain't it. It ain't it. I got to get out there.
Yeah.
But it didn't. To fully answer your question though, it didn't go downhill. It just put a stop on the liberation that I have to do what I can with my art, and also opened up other shit. Like I couldn't engineer myself at all. I'm still not perfect at engineering myself, but I know how to record myself. I built the studio in my room. If I turn my camera, there's my microphone and my microphone stand, and I know how to, like, if I had something I was like, I gotta record this right now, I could do so. I couldn't do that before, but house arrest, I was like, man, I ain't doing shit. I gotta figure out something. So I've learned a few tricks on house arrest. Mind games, the video I put out that I just threw up on Instagram, and I didn't drop it nowhere else, but it was just cool as shit. I put Ponyo in there, the anime film. I did not think I could do that. That shit was fire. I blew my mind, but it was some shit that I learned on house arrest. So uh, I'm getting a call. Can I answer it?
Yeah, go ahead. Do what you need to do, man. Do what you need to do. Do what you need to do.
Hello? Hello? Hello?
That fame, man. You're getting prank calls. That fame.
No, I wasn't a prank call. I think he just don't know how to work his phone. But anyway, what were we speaking on, bro?
Yeah, no. So we were saying about how you the house arrest, how if that obviously when basically things went left, you know. But and you were saying how it didn't go left, it's just been a bit in.
Yeah, some up to it. Yeah.
You know, that must be tough.
Hell
Man.
yeah, hell yeah.
That's tough. That's tough.
Yeah, it is tough. It is. But like I said, I'm practicing with like my spirituality and a lot of shit because it ain't nothing else to do, and also it's a positive thing to do. So one thing I can say is I'm trying not to dwell on it, even though it's hard to not dwell on it. Like I'm doing this right now. We're spending some time with the interview. That's something that I'm actually doing, and I don't need to be outside to do that. And I don't want to think about the fact that I can't be outside all day because that's not my reality right now. So I'm gonna accept what I got until my blessings coming, and maybe I'm dodging bullets right now by whatever universe created us by being on house arrest. Maybe I wouldn't be able to have this interview with you if I was a free man because of what I'm saying. Like I could be being protected by some shit outside. I'm the type of nigga that'll go out and get COVID. fuck the shit up. You know what I'm saying? So maybe by nature I'm supposed to be on house arrest right now. I think everything somewhat happens for a reason, if you know what I mean.
100%, man, 100%. And the thing is, my guy, like you may come out like when you come out of house arrest, bro, you're gonna come back probably stronger, my guy, because you had so much time to.
Oh no, for sure I will. Not to cut you off. I have unreleased music that
There you
that
go.
kills. It's not even the same. I haven't released it because I wanna go to some doors that I that are open for me. I just can't get to physically to get the attention for those songs to be released on like a little EP. Because right now ain't nobody seeing me, so ain't nobody paying no attention to me because I'm in the house 24/7. You know what I'm saying? Not doing shit. You know, but when I get back on the scene, whatever scene we got in Philadelphia, and get some attention back, I'll definitely drop those songs, and you'll see a totally different side of Farouk. Like I surprised myself with some of the shit that I came out with on house arrest that hasn't been heard yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. That's so sick. And bro, do you know what I think is sick about, not about the situation, but about the way you're handling it, man, is, a lot of people are having to be indoors. Like, I don't know about you, but obviously COVID's been a mad one
Yeah.
globally. And a lot of people are going through the same thing where they can't go out, man. And a lot of people have been struggling, but a lot of people have used this time to be productive, to find a new hobby and stuff.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
like what you're doing as well. And what's sick is, you're basically you're basically thinking about the positive, because a lot of people now with these times that are tough, man, people it's so easy to be negative, man. It's so easy to be like, fuck, I'm on house arrest, can't do shit, can't go
Yeah.
to the
Yeah.
studio,
And I
can't.
definitely was the first year. I definitely was. Trust me.
Yeah, man, it's hard, but
Like,
you get what I'm saying? I don't blame you, man. Everyone's gone through that with COVID and stuff. And what would you say to people that maybe are going through the same situation as you, and maybe having to stay indoors and can't go out, or are on house arrest as well? What would you say to sort of give them some encouragement?
oh shit, that's a good question. I thought we were gonna be talking music. You talking some real nigga shit. To 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 all the real niggas out there that might be going through something like this or ever get caught up in county prison or state prison. One thing I can say is it's gonna be hard if you can't deal or accept or be comfortable with yourself. You have to be comfortable with who you are, because there are going to be moments like I am forced to be right now where I'm forced to be alone. And when you're forced to be alone, that's where you get like that's where the demons come, where you like, oh shit, it's just me. And believe it or not, subconsciously you're always talking to yourself in your head. That's a person. When you're completely by yourself, that person is amplified. So you have to be okay with that person to be in a situation like this, or a situation where you're in a 4x4 with another grown man in jail. You got to be okay to be, you got to lock in with yourself, figure out what you got to straighten out and straighten that shit out. Me, I meditate. It brings me closer to like, my selflessness that I'm trying to reach. I don't want to preach and nothing like that, but yeah, you just gotta know yourself and be comfortable with that motherfucker and be okay with or be accepting of whatever is, you know what I'm saying? Because things pass. One thing about everything that's alive is it'll die, which is something that I find funny. But well on anything that's, you know, I won't even say extraterrestrial, because even like why dwell on anything too much, period, if at some point it'll perish. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You just gotta let me lock in your question with my answer. Lock in with yourself and be comfortable with yourself, and you can be alone for a while, or you can get through a lot of things. But a lot of people don't even know if they're comfortable with their self, or if how comfortable they are with their self until they're in that situation. And that's where shit gets scary. Shit got scary for me in the beginning. I was uncomfortable with myself first time on house arrest, for like the first couple months. And shit got wild. I was doing like shit that wasn't me just because I was literally losing my mind. But then I got on the right track and got forced, or I'm getting on the right track and got forced or inspired to lock in and understand who I am. Not that I didn't know who I was, but be okay with who I am. You know what I'm saying? Enough to be alone with that man, hear that man talk in my head, and be okay with what he has to say. Because people hear their regrets in silence, and it eats them alive. They gotta be with someone else or do something else. I'm practicing Buddhism, and one thing that I've learned is you got to be okay with that shit. You got to have no regrets and just like accept what is. You know what I'm saying? They chopped my arm off. That's past tense. Right now my arm's chopped off. I got to deal with that, but like I'm not gonna keep complaining about it. I'm gonna accept it to let shit heal, and then I'll die, and that's life.
Yep. Well, that's just a good way to look on things. And going back to like music and just creatives in the whole, man, this is something that I think people need to learn, my guy, because like I think so many creatives, yeah, they always maybe compare themselves to other people. And with that person in their head, that person that you're describing themselves, they can't fathom like that, everyone has a different journey and there's no such thing as, um, everyone being the same, everyone having the same journey. Hence why there's no point to compare yourselves, because at the end of the day, you know, everyone gets to where they need to get to at different amount of times. And I think with being a creative, with being comfortable with yourself is very important if you're in a creative industry, because not only does it help your mental health, but I feel like because, for example, artists that make music, actual artists who draw, actors, anything like that, you're putting out your work for other people to enjoy. So if you're not happy with yourself, people can sense that through your music, man. Hence why a lot of artists, man, there's been times where artists, make some of their best music when they're depressed, or make some of their best music when they're going through hard times. And, I feel like um, a lot of the times we go to listen to J. Cole, or we go to listen to Kendrick Lamar, or we go to listen to, all of these artists for escapism, to really think, yo, the days are gonna be better. We're gonna be all right. Like J. Cole said, we gonna be all. That's a big song. Like, fam, like a lot of
Yeah.
times people go to escape, and I feel like if you're not okay with yourself, it's gonna reflect on your music. And the person who's gonna listen to it, Jimmy on the other side, who's a young boy, who's listening to the songs, depressed because he's listening to his favorite artist who hasn't figured themselves out mentally. Do you get what I'm saying? And it's very important,
Yeah, but
especially.
I also want to point out, like, because the previous question I answered was for like going through like serious situations, but when we talk about music, like there's been, I think like I don't know, man, like the depressed songs or the depressed moments that I have, because like I struggle through like chronic depression period even before house arrest. Like I just get depressed. But I do make some of my best music, but I think like like it 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 comforts me that I can identify that I'm depressed, and I can make it into something like beautiful. You ever hear something that sounds so bad it actually sounds good? Like
Yeah.
that's how most of my music is. Most of my music, people hear it and they're like, "Yo, this sounds beautiful. This sounds nice." The whole time I'm talking about how I want to hang myself, like, and you can't even hear it because you know what I'm saying. It breeds it breeds that depression put me in a flow, and that flow came out sounding pretty. So I only say that to say that like, yeah, like like they're gonna hear it in your music for sure, but it's not always a bad thing, and it can definitely be
Yeah.
an inspiring thing. Like I've heard some depressing music, like one that passed, Mac Miller and Juice World died on my birthday when I was on house arrest. And those are two people who make very depressing music that sounds very good, but like my point is like it can work, you know what I'm saying, for a
Yeah.
positive, a big ass positive, you know what I'm saying, and it can even change out the depression. Like yeah, money and everything, but how depressed can you be when like you fucking Mac Miller and like, you know, you doing Tiny Desk concerts and you making millions off of concerts every fucking day and everybody knows your name. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
there's different types of lives and there's different types of problems, but you know, everybody's gonna be depressed at some point in time, no matter how happy you are. But I think no matter what, as long as you're creating, you're doing something positive and something positive can come out of it. You know what I'm saying?
that's a good way of looking at it. I guess I was looking at like how it's going to affect the listener, but I think that's a good way of looking at it, man, because it's also the way that it sounds to you is like sort of therapeutic for the creative as well. It's therapeutic for you making the
Oh yeah,
music. You get what
oh
I'm
yeah.
saying?
Once I
That,
hear that shit back, I'll be like, damn, who the fuck is that? Oh yeah, it's me.
that's crazy. That's crazy. So I'm assuming sometimes then, because I know a lot of artists, do you sort of have times where you to basically get over things or to basically
Can I ask you to give me the permission to record?
yeah, man. Bro, go ahead. I'm recording this right now. Yeah, go
No,
ahead.
I'm trying. You the host, you got to give me the permission.
Oh shit. Okay, let me see how to do this, man. This technical shit. All right, cool. Let me
If
okay,
it's too much, it's fine because I know you're recording.
no worries. Yeah, let me try and see. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Allowed to record. Yeah, man. I think I've just allowed you to record. So you should be allowed to record now.
I am recording.
Awesome. But yeah, like I was saying, man, when it comes to creating music and when it comes to creating anything with your art, I'm assuming sometimes is it a thing where you'll do it to to get over situations, bad times, good times? Is it a thing where you do it and it's therapeutic so you can sort of think about what you're going through, or is it different with you? Do you just do it because you have this beat in your head and you wanna get something down? How does it work for you, man?
It's actually completely different. So you know, it's what's funny about my music, and this is like 100% true. I write just whatever comes to my head. Just like I'll say words, and that's how I find like if you listen to my music, you'll find like witty comments and witty punchlines and shit like that. But somehow the song ends up when the song is finished or when the song is released or when I listen to the song 2 weeks later, it ends up being something exactly that I'm going through in my life at the moment. Or exactly how I feel at the moment, which is crazy. I don't ever, or 9 times out of 10, I don't write with the, I wrote the fall and I wrote the fall while I was in a relationship with someone, right? Then the fall I didn't drop it or whatever the case may be, but it was a finished song. And it talks about I said the line, I said I want back everything that's mine. I should have never gave it. Leave your love in every line, and now I fucking hate it. I flick my wrist to check the time as if it wasn't taken. But the shit that I was saying had to. I forgot to mention we broke up now. We're broken up now. But my point is that song is relevant now. That song kind of explains that how I feel about that whole situation. But it's so wild and ironic to me that I wrote it at a complete before I felt that feeling. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how that should be happening. Like I didn't feel that way when I wrote it. When I wrote it, I was in love. You know what I'm saying? I just happened to write a depressing song at a moment. I was like, yo, this is cool. I was talking about showing my face, she blew my mind. I feel like Ronald Reagan. I just thought that was a cool line, but then it ended up being I ended up like low key predicting the future with the music that I wrote
Crazy.
previously. And that happens a lot. It happened with Elephant Juice. It happened with like fucking a lot of music, man.
Wow.
I don't know if any other artists that happens for, but that's how most of my music comes out. That's what I think I would call my writing process. I just write what I think is cool, and then somehow after like it's finished or a finished product, it becomes my life.
That's crazy, man. Why do you think that happens? Do you think it's more so with you're putting something out there and then somehow it just comes in a different form, maybe down the line, or why do you think that happens?
I believe it could be coincidental. Like could be a coincidence, but I also believe in like, you know, the universe and, you know, also On the same to on a different side of the same token, I believe like nothing is a coincidence. So you know what I'm saying? I really, don't have an answer for that. All I can say is I'm about to start writing about how I met Oprah, and then maybe that shit will come to play. You know what I'm saying? About to start writing about the mansion that I live in.
That shit's crazy, man. That's crazy, and that's one thing I picked up about you on the call. Different perspectives on how people live, how people make music, what music sounds like. Because I remember when I was in that live, and obviously, first thing you guys asked me was how is it living in the UK? Like, what's it called, Top Man? Is it really that crazy out here? Are people really getting shanked up and stuff? And I remember you asked me like how it is to live out here, and that's something I picked up. Like, it seems like you're very very intrigued with different um perspectives on how people live, how people make music, how different ways to be
Oh yeah.
creative. Is that something that you've always been like? Because again, you talked about how you're getting into Buddhism. It seems like you're very open-minded. It seems like you're just open to try different things. A lot of people are stuck in their ways. A lot of people don't care, fam. A lot of people just live their life. They'll do the same shit until the day they die. But it seems like you're constantly evolving. Like, why is that, man? Why are you constantly changing?
Cause I'm gonna say, like I said before, I'm alive, and you know what that means. I will eventually die. So with
Yeah,
that being said, when there are known knowns and there are known unknowns and there are unknown unknowns. One big unknown is what's gonna happen when we die. I have no fucking idea. So I know I'm on Earth. I'm gonna make Earth as best as it could be for me, and experience as much as I can. I like I've always I think you asked me two questions. I've always been interested in like different cultures since I was young, getting into martial arts. I was into anime, which got me into like just Japanese culture, period. Ramen and sushi is like some of my favorite meals. If I ever go on a date with a woman, my first like go to is like, let's get sushi. That's my thing. But yeah, and I've changed. I've been a part of a couple different religions. I've been Christian at some point in my childhood because I'm only 20. Damn, how old am I? I'm 21. Yeah, I'm only 21. But I've been Christian. I grew up with a Muslim background, as you might tell from my name. Um, uh, and then I just felt I funny to be honest. I did acid one time, and I was just like, you know what? It doesn't really much. You know what I'm saying? Like as far as like heaven and hell, like I thought about what happened when and if I die, and then that got me thinking about God or what God might be, and I was like, if I was a father, picture this: if I was your dad and you did something bad, and I put your hand on the stove, I'd be a bad dad. So if God sends you to hell for like doing something terrible, it's kind of fucked up God, you know what I'm saying? Like the point is for me to learn, which got me leaning towards reincarnation. So yeah, I think being open-minded is the best way to experience as much as I can with the little time that I have in this lifespan of a human being, and I want to do that. Why the fuck not? I want to fucking, like Lil Wayne said, I wish I could fuck every girl in the world because that'd be pretty cool. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, man, that's pretty sick. I like the way you put that, man. I like the way you put that. It seems like you're very open-minded, and I wanted to ask as well, like with drugs and stuff, is that something where you were open-minded with that? Because a lot of times, I don't know with you, but in like black culture, drugs, like how we talk about it, I know you smoke weed, right? Is that something where how did you get into
No,
that?
I don't, I, I don't. Let me put it out there right now. I don't do any drugs. I used to do drugs. This is CBD, and this is tobacco. I don't do drugs. Let's for the record, let's just put that out there. Let everybody know that. But when I did do drugs, you asked me what got me into it.
Yeah.
It was basically honestly like curiosity. What got me into acid was this girl. I met this girl, and then it was a party where I met Soup, a guy I make music with and have songs with on SoundCloud. And he had it, and I got it from him, and I only took it because I wanted to like go to the party to meet the girl, but I ended up doing a drug that changed my fucking life and my whole perspective on like everything at a certain point in my life. And yeah, and I was always getting my ass whooped as a kid for smoking pot. Like that was like my mom was not cool with that, and I was always in trouble. uh and I really like tobacco. Funny thing about me and tobacco, I got into to smoking tobacco because I got my ass whipped really crazy for smoking weed one time, and I was like, all right, I need something, but I can't smoke weed all the time. I had a Newport one time, and it got me so lightheaded, I felt high. So that's how I started smoking cigarettes. I was like, fuck weed, I'm gonna just smoke cigarettes. Then after a while, it became a regular cigarette, and I was like, nah, this shit don't work no more. And I went back to smoking bud and getting my ass whipped. But I don't think a lot of shit that people think is a negative, I don't think is a negative. I don't think that that all drugs are bad. There are definitely some bad drugs. I don't think a lot of things are, I think there's yin and yang. There's good and bad in anything. And there's positives and negatives, and there's also something that a lot of people need to find and maintain, which is balance. You don't want to do drugs all day, even if you do drugs, because it's gonna fuck with something. But you don't want to not do drugs because you might miss out on
Yeah.
doing some
I
drugs.
like that, man. That's interesting, man, and that's something that I wanted to expand more on because it seems like at the end of the day, man, like you're very balanced, like you're a very balanced person. Like it seems like a lot of times, like people either do too much of something or too little. It seems like you obviously are. You seem like a chilled out guy, but it seems like you're pretty passionate about your music, man, and your art. Like I always see you. I follow your Instagram. You're making art, you're drawing, but you also chill out a lot as well. And it seems like you found a pretty
Versatile.
good, exactly, man. Like, bro, it seems like you've got a really good balance. And how did you get that? Like, is it because you're indoors, you're on house arrest now, where you sort of like, all right, cool. I don't want to be spending all of my time as in the negative, not doing anything, but I don't want to I don't want to be doing this all the time. I want to change up so that way, because you're changing up everything you're doing, you're balanced because you're not doing anything too much or too little. How did you get this balance, man? Because you seem like a very just peaceful person. A lot of people, man, they have a lot of inner struggles, man. They have a lot of things, like again, going back to what you said, I think it's a great point of what you said about that person, man. That person in your head. At the end of the day, when you're on your
Yeah.
own. Like, that's something I've been struggling the past couple of days, man. Like I'm a sort of person where I'm very structured, very organized. I don't really go too much to the flow. I have a structure for everything. And from Monday till today, really, I haven't done anything. I've just been chilling, and it makes me feel like fuck, man. Like I've been really, really, really lazy. But last week I was working all the time. So I'm not really a balanced person. What would you say to someone who's not balanced to basically find sort of inner peace where they can be so chilled out and be so relaxed where they can take some time off but then work and just have a good balance, man? What would you say?
I would honestly say that might be a piece you gotta work with, more open-minded, because I think I come off maybe as so calm or relaxed, because like I'm doing a bunch of different shit. But like even before house arrest, I was like wild as far as like, I put it like this. I live every day like it's a TV show that I would want to watch. So like that right there makes me want to go do something that makes today a new episode that's a really cool episode. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like just being open-minded with that brings balance. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be like, you're gonna find yourself doing all types of shit. I didn't know that my sketches would sell anything. I never tried to sell them. I tried to sell them one day and I raised like fucking $600 from just selling sketches. Like the fuck in like 2 days.
That's crazy. That's crazy. And that's a
Yeah,
good
bro. I say it's better to just do it and then fuck up and fail than to like not do it at all
mm,
and not fail. That makes no sense.
mm. That's interesting, man. Because again, like talking about balance and your art more specifically, like your art is, I've seen your art, I read your art, it's very abstract and it's kind of, and bro, when I saw that, I was like, raw, like you're doing art now. Because I, again, on that live stream when we were talking, man, you seem like, you know, you just made music. So when I saw you drawing, I was like, yo, man, this is sick. Like you're trying something new, man. You're trying something new. And, you know, how did it feel? Because I know it's one thing putting your work out there, but it's another thing when people rate it and they buy it or they listen to it or they share it. How did it feel, man, when like Jawasa bought your work and other people bought your work? How did it feel?
It felt crazy. I called someone and I explained to them, you know, my situation, and I told them that I was selling my pieces, and if they were interested, and they was like, yeah, show me some pieces. I showed a guy a piece that was my favorite piece. It's probably the latest thing I got on my social medias right now. The one with that looks like the door with the shadow. Um, it's just a sketch in my notebook, but I'm gonna sell it as a PDF so it can become on someone's wallet. So I sold the art. I paid like $8, something like that. He was like, yeah, I'll give you 250 for it. And I was like, you sure? He's like, yeah, I'll give you 250 for it. I really like it. And he paid me on the spot $250 sent to my Cash App, and he's awaiting his PDF. I didn't even get to send the PDF yet because I've been so busy sending other ones trying to get them out the way. But when I sold that, like that made me feel like, oh yeah, this art is worth. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I thought about it, this guy lives in a really nice house. And imagine that piece that I sold him, which is a piece that I really like, as a big print on his wall, hung up and framed. That shit would look beautiful. My art, and it made me think about it. I'm like, my art is worth that, maybe even fucking more. It drove me and forced me to like think about it, my art more seriously. Like, yo, no, this shit is actually like, I'm an artist, and you know, I deserve to be respected with my payment for people who are intrigued by my art. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, that's sick. Because a lot of the times, fam, people don't have the confidence, G. Like a lot of times, like because maybe they don't get a lot of people buying their shit, they'll go for any price, and they basically set themselves so low. And it's sick that you realize that, fam, like, my art is actually sick. Like a lot of times people lose their confidence. They're like, oh, like free work as well, man. Like there's a lot of times the creatives, it sort of gets on my nerves because I know a lot of creatives that make music and shit and that make beats, and they're like, oh, I'll do it for you for free. And I'm like, nah, man. Nah, even if they're my friend, I'm like, don't, like, why are you doing it for free?
Yeah.
Because I'm their guy, yeah. They're like, I'll do it for you for free, or they say I'll do it for you for mates rates. And I'm like, nah, just tell me your normal price. Because the thing I've realized, yeah, running a business, running a clothing brand, yeah, is if people want to support, they're not going to say I'll do it for you for free. They'll pay your normal rate, my guy, because they realize that what you do work wise is good, it's valuable. So anyone who says, oh, you know, can you get me a little discount and shit, and like they always try and undercut you with the prices, they're not supporting you, man. They just want to save their money. They don't really rate your art because anyone realizes if something is worth it, they'll pay the price for it, man. And that's sick with your work that you realize that, nah, man, my work is actually sick. Was that the same with your music as well? Was that the same with your music where you thought, nah, like my music is actually sick?
Not after like I did my first paid show. No, it was the switch was very early when like I very early. I think when I was doing poetry, I think I was just like, you know, like I got bars, you know. I was just like, I can fucking rap, and I've always loved Eminem, and I think that's the rapper that kind of got me into like writing. I was like, yo, the way you put lyricism together is crazy. So I tried to do such. And when I did such, I was like, no, I can do this. Like that's something I always knew that I could do. And I always knew it was good. Like I'm a consumer myself. I love music. So I rate music that I like, and I rate music that I don't like that as much as other music. And I also rate myself. Like I'm a fan of my own art, and I think that I'm up there with some of my favorite artists. You know what I'm saying? Not just because it's me, because like when I rate that shit, it scores well. It scores high. That nigga did his thing on them songs. And if like the whole world was forced to hear it, I feel like they would feel the same way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. That's sick. That's actually so sick, man. That's bro, that's sick. Because a lot of the times I'm listening to artists, so I've got friends and they do not want to share their work. Like my guy, it's such a pain, like having to talk to people and they're like, oh yeah, you make music, you make beats, show me some of your work, and they automatically get nervous. I'm like, nah. Like I don't listen, I don't share my work to people, but it's sick that you got the confidence to, say, my work is lit. Because some people don't, man. A lot of
Yeah.
people don't, I'd say. A lot of people don't, my guy.
Yeah. I mean, uh, a lot of people are different than a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? I'm just happy to be born a Sagittarius that's outgoing
Yeah,
and social and very,
yeah,
very, very verbal. And you know what I'm saying? I'm happy to be myself because like not everybody can be everybody, and there's a lot of people that I can't be. But there's beauty in everybody. So,
yeah,
uh, but I appreciate the fact that you notice, and can see the good qualities in me and how they can work for like my music and how they have and are working for my music and like me as an artist, period. That I want to say I appreciate, my man. Shout out to Seventh Tier. Like hell yeah.
yeah, man. And that live stream was sick. That live stream was sick, man. You seem like an open guy. You seem like a chill guy, man. So, like, what's next for you, man? Because we're
Keep
actually
saying you keep saying I agree with open. You keep saying chill. I'm the wildest guy you'll ever meet. Like I swear, I'm like the wildest fuck. But
bro.
when it comes down to it, you see me sitting in a chair on lives and like in pictures because I've been on house arrest for 3 years. When you see me on the street, I'm a wild motherfucker. I'll be jumping skateboards over cars and fucking getting hit by the car, all types of shit, rolling around in dirt. I'm a wild guy. I'm not chill at all. But
That's
back to the statement you was making at hand.
that's crazy, man. So do you skate as well?
Yeah, I do skate. I'm a pretty shit skater, but I got my front shove and my kick flip, and I can look cute when I'm riding by some nice women. So I'm good.
That's right. I like that. I skate as well. I just cruise though, man. I'm not on your level, fam. I can't even do the basic tricks, man. I'm actually going skating tomorrow, so hopefully
That shit is hard. I heard a quote one time. It was like one comedian said, "Every time I see those skateboarders skating, doing that shit, I think to myself, those kids are gonna be all right in life."
Yeah.
Cause that shit is hard as fuck. Like the skaters that be on Thrasher, that shit. Like if you try, first of all, I don't know for people that may see this interview. Once
A
you
lot of
learn,
skaters watch this, man. A lot of skaters watch seven. A lot of skaters watch.
okay, all right. So they know goofy and regular. They
Yeah.
all know, and they all had to go through it. Once you find out if you goofy or regular and you want to do fakie or switch or whatever, you know what I'm saying? You have to learn how to skate all over again. When I
Yeah.
found that out and I tried to like skate in a different position or skate backwards, I was like, what the fuck? I'm gonna just keep skating goofy. I'm not gonna learn how I'm not gonna spend years of my life learning how to skate just to just to, just to spend more years of my life learning how to do it again. The kids that are like 16 and like 15 pulling it off, they gonna be hard because they got dedication. Like that shit take that to fucking cation. I got a kick flip after like three years of trying that shit. I got my first one. It still looks shaky. Them niggas that's doing like ollies off of like 16 stairs and shit like that, they are gonna be cool in life. They got it, man.
Yeah.
Cause it's like you said and like you see on my art, it's all about the drive, bro. It's all about the drive. If you keep doing that shit, you gonna get that shit. If nobody ever thought, what if we could fly? Let's try to fly. Nobody would ever fly. There wouldn't be planes. But somebody thought about this shit, tried that shit, and now niggas is flying. Niggas is flying drones. Niggas is sending monkeys into space because it's possible. You know what I'm saying?
Yo,
And the
man.
people that pursue things that may seem impossible, and make them possible, they're gonna be all right in life. I definitely know that.
Yeah, man, you're right. And the thing is with what you're saying and going back to skating as well, that shit is dangerous, man. Like, fam, you can
Yeah.
fucking break your neck. Like, bro, these not only do they have dedication, but these niggas are brave. They're brave, man, doing that shit, those grinds on the staircases that like 20 stairs, my guy.
Some
Wrong
of
lad,
them
bro.
do. Some of them break, like get hurt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and they get up and they do the same shit again. Like
I
this
was
shit,
just about to say that. And
exactly.
they be out there the next day.
Exactly, and I think you're right with the whole dreaming shit, man. Like you've got to have a dream where it's not small and it's not so easy to achieve, but it it has to be sort of when you tell people they're like you'll never get that, you'll never do that, because those are the people that will break trends and those are the people who become the next big things.
You know whose exact situation was that?
Who?
Steve Jobs.
Yeah,
Now look at his both on a fucking MacBook on a Zoom meeting.
exactly.
My MacBook cost me 1,400. You know what I'm saying? One of the biggest companies in the world. And they told him,
Exactly.
and he said, I promise you, one day a computer is going to be so small it can fit in your house. And they laughed at him. They laughed at him. And look at us. We got phones that we can talk to that talk to us back and like all shit like just to prove your point. Like Steve Jobs is a great example of exactly what we're talking about.
Exactly, man. Exactly. And there's so many people like Steve Jobs that, are artists, that are skaters, that are musicians, that are actors, like anything, man, anything, man. And at the end of the day, fam, it's just about the determination. Like some days, fam, you probably relate. I can't. It's just peak. I just feel like nah, man, not today. It's tough. It's tough, but you've just got to keep on
Yeah.
going. You've got to keep on going, my guy. So, that's what I want to keep on saying to you, man. Keep on making the art, keep on doing your thing, keep on making music, man. Like real talk, man. Really respect what you're doing, man. That's why I
For
only
sure,
have
I
people,
will.
you know, like my guy. Like just keep on doing what you're doing. I only have people that I really respect on the pod. Like anyone who doesn't is not a creative. I don't really have you on, so I had to get you on, man, because I think you're gonna do sick. But
No, I'm blessed to be here, man. Honestly, seriously,
no worries, man.
I really respect what you do, dog.
No worries, man. Appreciate it, man. But ending wise, is there anything you want to say, like any words of advice? Because people watch this shit, man, and they really wanna, like they want to
Nigga,
get.
I watch the shit. Oh yeah, I'm people.
But thanks, man. I appreciate that. But people always like to have something they can take from it. So, is there anything like you want to say to someone who's watching this, maybe going through a hard time, or who's doing the same thing as you? Anything you want to say?
Yeah, I want to say something that they could take from this. Take my music and buy it. It's on Apple Music. You just pay your Apple Music bill. The more you listen to it, the more I get streams. The more streams I get, the more money I get in my PayPal. Because I'm an independent artist. And I say don't sign record labels. And on a serious note, I want to say you only got one life, man. You only got one life, so you might as well be open and not live inside of a box, because before you're born, like you're put in a box. The world tries to put you in a box. I'm a non-binary because when I was young, they told me I was a guy, and when I got older, I found out that was just a way to like sell me shit. Hey, boys like basketballs. You're a boy. You should play basketball when you play basketball. Nigga, I'm the best double dutcher around, and I only found that out when I picked up a fucking jump rope. And I'm just saying, break all those walls and do what the fuck all. On another note though, my name's Asim Farouk. My artist name, or I go by, is Farouk, the number 4. That's A and then ARUQ. You can type that in on Apple Music. You can find me on SoundCloud at the number 4 ARUQ. Play my music. You can follow me on Instagram at Tangerine Living. And you can check out my art. I have an art page. I call my art This Isn't Period That. And that's the Instagram page as well. You can check it out. DM me for inquiries. And we only got one life, man. So let that shit up as best as you can, because anything can happen. You could be like me, like I can't leave the house, couldn't leave the house for like 4 years. And I mean, for almost 3 years and been in prison for the first time and fucking changed my head. Anything can happen. So like, run it up. You know what I'm saying?
Respect, man. Respect. Well, guys, you heard the guy. Follow him on socials. Everything's going to be in the link in the description on. So check it out if you're watching this on YouTube. Go listen to this on Spotify, on Anchor. Guys, we're available everywhere, fam. If you're busy, if you're at work, you want to listen to us, you don't have to watch us. Go listen to it on Spotify. Type in 7th Tier. The tier talks will come up. And guys, I'm not even gonna chat about our clothing, man. Our clothing is the best. Clothing creatives, yeah. There's no other clothing brand. Look, my guy, like there's no other clothing brand which makes content for you creatives, podcast, series, doing the coldest clothes worldwide. Worldwide, my niggas. This guy is in the US. Right? Yeah, we don't focus on just the UK, baby. We've done interviews with people in the US, everywhere.
I'm in Philly, bro. Homie made a solid connection from a different country. I'm in Philly, bro. And thorough nigga that's down for the cause of, like, you know, his art and journalism of music, and artists like me that ain't even big yet. Like, you solid, nigga. You solid. So definitely. This is big here, bro. This nothing small. Not a small thing at all.
I appreciate it, man. It's been a hard week, man. It's actually, those words mean a lot, man. No cap. Like, those words actually mean a lot for you to say that, man. So guys, again, check him out. 7th Tier Clothing Creative. If you enjoyed this, subscribe, like the video. And yeah, man, this has been your guy. Farouk, the coldest creative out there in Philly. Go check him out. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy this. Have a nice day. Peace.
I appreciate it. Appreciate you, bro.
No worries.